On this episode of Real Estate Fundamentals, this is probably going to be something like you've never seen before. I sat down at my desk earlier today to send a very private message video to my private lenders who invest in me. And I sat down and I really thought about how many people have been reaching out to me, lenders, investors, all kinds of people about what's going on in the world. So this is my public response, not only to my lenders, but to other people out there. You may be a private mortgage lender, you may be an investor, you may be looking to get into investing. So I'm going to give you a very real and raw conversation about what's going on in my real estate business as we are not on the verge, in the midst of another crash and a global financial meltdown yet again. Well, where should we start with everything that we have to cover? Because there is a lot to cover with what has gone on in the world recently, with the coronavirus, with the market crashing, with people being quarantined in their homes, and just the world is in a very, very, very crazy place. So I would say that I'm going to keep this video short, but I can't promise to do that. I have a lot to cover. I made a lot of notes. So I'm just going to go over just a lot of things that are on my mind, concerns that I have, maybe concerns that you have. And like I said in the intro, I was originally setting down. My plan was to sit down and send a message a private video message to my lenders, just to say, hey, here's what's going on. Here's what I'm seeing in my business. And to give everyone an update on just hopefully my intention was to give everybody just kind of, peace of mind, just a warm and comforting feelings about what's going on. But I don't know if I can do that. But I'm going to do my best to be optimistic, and I'm very optimistic. But also understand that we're going through some stuff we don't know what's all going to happen. So let's talk about all this. So for some of you watching this on YouTube, most of you guys are watching this on YouTube. So I'm a real estate entrepreneur, business owner. I've done a lot of real estate, done several hundred deals over the years, and I'm a marketer. I am a marketer as well. So everyone watching this, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and come back here as frequently as possible when you're looking to grow your business, get general information, because this is just at the outset of this channel, but we're going to be pouring tons of content and information. And I'm really in the process of changing the way that I personally handle like coaching clients, consulting. I'm doing more like with the power of YouTube and video marketing, just to help as many people as I can, especially in a time like this. That's why I chose to put this format like that, like out here in YouTube, and just share with everybody what's going on. Be very, very transparent. So let's talk about what is going on. Those of you who don't know me, I've been in this business 13, 14 years. I've done several hundred deals. I started with nothing, literally used a credit card to buy my first property. So I've gone on since this time to do, like I said, hundreds of deals. And I'm not trying to brag or, impress everybody, but I will tell you right now that I've paid somewhere in the range of 5,000 to 6,000 mortgages, maybe more. I just did real kind of, back of the napkin math. And one of the things I'm most proud of in real estate is I've never not performed on any of my notes. I've never missed a payment. I've never been late, other than like a bill pay snafu or whatever. But I've always been able to perform on my loans, and I'm knocking on wood because I'm very proud of that. And it hasn't always been easy. A lot of times it's been really hard. And the situation we're going into right now, it may be very hard, but I don't know that. So one of the things that triggered this video was, I saw an email from another investor that was, I was kind of brought into the loop, and they were telling their lender saying, hey, I may not collect rent next month. I wanted to see if I could have some payments added to the back end and just have a few months grace period. And that kind of struck me as like, whoa, why are we having that conversation yet? Because next month's rent hasn't happened yet, and we don't know what's going to happen April 1st. We don't know. Like we don't know, and that's kind of the theme of today and right now is we don't know. We don't know what tomorrow's going to look like, April, May, June, July. We don't know. But it is crazy, and I will also use the word that it's exciting times because I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for those of us as real estate entrepreneurs, but understanding, and I'm putting a huge asterisk, that there's going to be tremendous amounts of pain. There's going to be tremendous amounts of financial loss and catastrophe, and there's going to be more damage that is occurring from the financial crisis. I truly believe there's going to be more damage is done from the financial crisis than the COVID-19, than the coronavirus. Years from now, I believe years from now, we will look back on this time and we will think very, very, very little about the fear that we experience, but the financial pain and loss will be what most people remember more, with the exception of if you actually got sick or lost a loved one or anything like that. I personally have not been affected on a physical level with any family or loved ones, and I understand that health is our primary wealth, so I get that. So I'm not minimizing anything like that, but I am focusing on real estate and a business conversation here. So a lot of people watching this have loans with me. You've invested with me. So first and foremost, thank you so much for trusting in me and what it is that I do. So what is it that I do? What is my business model? So my business model, and I've done the gamut of residential real estate investing. I began in single family rentals and still done those to this day, but also flip a lot of properties. We have rentals, we do owner financing, flip properties I mentioned. We have commercial property. We've got a couple mobile home parks, RV park. We've done new construction development. We're under contract right now to do a 51 lot subdivision, new construction development. And so I have a lot of things going on, and I've always been able to mitigate risk and weather storms. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons I've done that is because my business model has always 80-20 rule. 80% of what we do is median price housing and below, right? Median price housing and below. So we invest in middle class, right? Lower to middle class neighborhoods. And so our clientele is, upper lower class and middle to middle lower class, and that's what we do. So the working class is a lot of the blue collar folks, and that's who we love and appreciate, and that's who we provide clean and functional housing for. So that's been a very sustainable model for me, and I believe in it. And if anything, when there's a recession or there's a crash, the model that I believe in, that I execute a majority of the time, is even more true. Like, it's even more effective, I believe. But that being said, there's always going to be obstacles and things that present themselves, on occasion. So that is our focus going into the future with properties that we are going to be buying, and we're about to go, it looks like, into big time buy mode yet again. And we're always buying. We do buy 40 to 50 houses a year, but we're going to continue, right? And even more so if there's if the opportunities and the market is conducive to that. So here's where we're at right now, and this is kind of the State of the Union address for my lenders watching this. Maybe, if you're a private lender and you're investing other places or considering private mortgage lending, here's what you have to look at, is that we're playing a high leverage game here. Okay. We're playing a high leverage game here. Typically when we buy a property, whether it be a rental or a flip property, There is 25 to 30% equity in the deal. So our lenders are loaning to us at 70 to 75% on average. So we've got about 25% of equity. When there's a major market shift or crash or correction or something like that, that equity is usually not a big deal. And I say that because I'm in the Texas market, and we have, have been very good, always keeping our renters, our houses rented or able to quickly sell and move our flip deals in most instances. Not always, but that's something where if I'm taking a loss, I take a loss and my lenders don't even hear about it, And I do take my hits and take losses on occasion. Well, here we are now in, March of 2020, and people are calling me, texting me, asking me, hey, how are things going? I'm like, well, weather's great and family's healthy and all looks well. We've actually booked an RV trip, believe it or not. We're heading out, taking the family on an RV trip tomorrow up into the Panhandle at the National Park. We've got an RV site, and we're going to stop at our RV park, and we're just make the best of it. But when the conversation goes to, are your tenants paying? Now, I've been asked that question several times. One of the reasons I'm shooting this video, my response is, I don't know. We typically have about 60-something properties in our inventory, which is what we have now. 10 or so are flip properties that we're actively flipping, renovating to sell or on the market. And then about 50-something properties, about 54 properties that we own are either rentals or owner finance. And it's almost a 50-50 split down the middle. So I've got 50-something mortgages that I have to pay every month. And I have rent and owner finance notes that I have to collect to help my business run. So, do I have reserves? Yes. Do I have a line of credit? Yes. Do I want to use them or tap into them? No, I don't, but I'm going to do what I have to do. So for my lenders out there, that's for you. It's like, we're going to figure this time out. We have, as we approach the April 1st timeline, we have a few options that we have for tenants to, repayment plans, if so to speak, and owner finance borrower repayment plans if needed. And, but, I'm optimistic that a majority of my, tenants and my borrowers are going to be fine. But if they don't, if the world goes to hell in a handbasket, and it does, just full transparency that I've got, close to, $70,000-$80,000. I think it's actually closer in the mid $60,000 range of mortgages that I have to pay every single month. So, and that's my track record of always being able to do that and keeping this ship afloat. And just a quick tidbit, side note, when it comes to real estate, when it comes to business, the number one cause of businesses going out of business is cash flow, lack of reserves and cash flow. When bad stuff happens, when what hits the fan, that's when most businesses go out of business, just so you know. So we do have reserves, and we do have lines of credit, and we do have a float where we can stay afloat for several months. Now, I'll tell you that it's going to be tough if they all stop paying. I'm like, geez, it would be very, very incredibly stressful. But my commitment is to figure this out. I know that a lot of investors are talking to their private lenders, and talking about repayment plans, putting payments onto the end of notes, paying them off later, on houses that are on the market, putting a pause on payments until they sell, basically letting that interest accrue. So I'm not going there with anybody yet. A lot of my lenders, you probably saw payments hit your email and mailbox this week. We're not doing any of that. We're not We're not looking at any of that because I don't know what the future brings. As far as I know, all of my tenants and owner finance borrowers are not affected at all, and they've got money coming in, and they're taking care of business, and are filing for unemployment, or doing whatever they need to do, and we're going to be just fine. But we're going to see. We're going to tread cautiously moving forward. So here's a couple other things I want to put out there. Is the stock market is scary. I've had this is another reason I'm shooting this video. I have multiple people reaching out to me and saying, Brant, are you going to buy stock? No, Brant does not buy stock. Brant does not invest in the stock market. I don't like my money going to places where I don't know where it is, number one. Number two, I don't like my money going places where I don't know who has their hands on my money, because I don't know what they're doing with it. And I just don't trust a lot of folks, to be honest with you. And I don't like my money invested in anything other than real assets, wood, bricks and sticks, single family homes, dirt, land, even new construction. Like, I believe in real estate. I believe in a certain percentage of precious metals, but I believe in stuff that is real, and that something that I'm just sharing. And I'm not a big financial, wizard or guy, anything like that. I'm not an economist. I did not study, I'm not formally educated in business and finance and economy. Like, I'm not that guy. But something for everyone to think about is, I know that whenever the government is now printing trillions and trillions of dollars, it's not good for the future of our company. And if we're the leader, future of our country, and if we're the leader of the free world, and that's what we're doing, just make sure you're prepared for the worst case scenario. I hope it never happens, but whenever it does, if you have all these financial instruments, stocks, and even like bonds to a certain extent, like these high risk bonds, and even some of the low risk bonds, if you've got all these paper financial instruments and they're in a bucket, what are they really worth? Think about that. They're not worth anything. They're paper. And if these companies go away and your investments go away, what do you have at the end of the day? So I would encourage everyone to strongly consider real assets, right? Obviously, I believe in cash flow, cash producing real estate. And I know some people like, real estate's going to collapse. They're not printing any more dirt. They're not printing any more land, right? Our population is continuing to grow. People need housing. And in my opinion, people need affordable housing. So that's what we focus on. There's also, a lot of talk about, as they keep printing and printing and printing money and pouring money into the marketplace, guys, this inflation thing is real. 5 to 10% per year. If you think real estate is expensive now, just wait. When they keep pouring and pouring and pouring this money into the marketplace, prices are just going to shoot through the roof. And there's a reason all of these REITs, these real estate investment trusts, and all these people are pouring into the market to buy our real estate, especially here in Texas, good old-fashioned Texas real estate. And it's going to continue to happen. So moving forward, we move forward into the marketplace. This is a conversation for my lenders. For those of you who are watching this, prospective lenders, on the fence, that I'm going to be having more conversations and open to having more conversations about partnerships, equity participation mortgages, where you can get an interest paid on your money each and every month, right? You can earn interest on it, but also get a piece of the pie when we sell that property on the back end. So we're navigating through things and trying to still look for incredible deals, safe deals, operating our business with sustainability, making sure that we perform on everything. Look, when I was a child, when I was a child, 86, whenever Black Friday happened, around that time, my father lost his job. He was unemployed for a very long period of time. And I saw my parents, go through a lot of financial struggle to the point where we ended up losing our home and basically losing everything. And it was really hard for them. And I saw their struggle. And they always did a great job, providing for us, putting food on the table, and just give us amazing childhood. But that was a tough time. And, I've always vowed to myself, and conversations I've had with my wife is, I don't want that to ever happen to my family. And for those of my lenders who invest with me, I don't ever want that to happen to you. And I want to always give you a peace of mind about your investments with me. So I've been talking a little doom and gloom, but my intention is to give you a peace of mind, like, hey, we're gonna be fine here. We're invested in medium price real estate and below for the most part. That's what we're doing. Our tenants, our residents, there may be a little short, gap where things get a little bit tough, but they're going to go back to work. And even people in higher classes may have to downsize now. They may lose their house or get foreclosed on, and they may turn from owners to renters in a little bit lower class neighborhoods. And if you look at what happens in these downturns, it's not that everybody even runs and gets an apartment. You actually look at it, multifamily struggles as well, and people go to lower classes, and that's what they do of neighborhoods. So that's where we're at. The show must go on. The show must go on, but the show must go on sustainably. So everything that I've done in the future, I'm going to look at everything that we've done, analyze everything that we're doing, what we're doing moving forward, to make sure that we are continuing to create a very sustainable business model. I'm going to keep my 100% track record of performance with my lenders. Does that mean we'll negotiate, change or alter a few loans here and there and modify things to get the plane safely landed? Maybe. I don't know. But like I said, I'm very proud of 13, 14 years in the business and hundreds of loans and thousands of mortgage payments. I've never not done that yet, and that is my intention to do that. And I hope that whenever I've done my last deal, I may be 70, 80, 90 years old. I don't know, that I can say I've done paid 50,000 mortgage payments without ever missing one. And the bottom line is that I want to do right by each of my lenders. And for real estate investors watching this, it all starts with a commitment, just making a commitment that no matter what, right, that you're going to put your lenders in safe deals, plenty of equity, plenty of margin, giving yourself multiple exit strategies. And I will tell everyone this as well, that I'm talking to a couple of different REITs, a couple of different funds, saying, hey, if I need cash, I've got this property with substantial equity, and I'm working on prices on those, where if I had needed to sell off some homes, I would do that. And I'm not going to do it. That's not my plan, but I'm always looking at what are my options if worst case scenario happens. And I don't think we're there, to be quite honest. The government is going to print money. They're going to print money. They're going to put a Band-Aid on a big problem, kick the can down the road. That's what they always do. But so we're going to look for the opportunities as best we can to take advantage of it. Well, I think that's everything that I wanted to share. I really appreciate everyone watching, taking the time to watch this. Leave some comments below. Once again, I'm a marketer as well. I'm always marketing my business. Like the video if you liked it. If you don't like it, then don't like it. But if you liked what you saw here, hit the subscribe button. I will always be real. I'll always be raw. I'll always be transparent, sharing with you exactly what we're doing in our business that's working and not working, and talking all about real estate fundamentals, because that's truly what you need to build a sustainable business. Whether you're on the borrowing side, the investing side, the lending side, you need proven fundamentals that can work in any market. Here we are in a new market, and I'm always, talking and preaching about building a business built on sustainable fundamentals. And I guess this is where we get to find out if what Brant's been talking about works. I believe it is going to. And here we go, my friends. It's going to be a fun, somewhat stressful, but adventurous ride. And I look forward to sharing my journey with each and every one of you as we go through this crazy time. Y'all take care.